Hello, everybody. It's Oz. I just wanted to do not a podcast, but a monologue as such about the things that are happening in Gaza at the moment and the things that are happening to good friends of mine in London who are doctors. And I am sick and tired of having them persecuted. So I just wanted to make a personal statement on what I think the problem is in Gaza at the moment and what the problems are in Britain. And almost all of it, the conversation is about doctors. It's about what's happening to them in this country and what's happening to the medical people in Gaza as well, and why it's really important that we support these people, that the doctors are fully supported. Dr. Rahiana, who's a friend of mine, is going to be going to court. I'm going to post the dates in the actual comments rather than, because I can't remember exactly when it is, but sometime in June she's got a court date in Manchester. Then she's got another date, which is far more important, which is the actual court hearing itself at the Royal Courts of Justice. And so this is a call out to people who support Palestine, who support the people who are the voices, who are sacrificing their livelihood and are basically taking the flag of resistance in Britain against those people that want to silence them. So with that in mind, I'm going to talk a little bit about Gaza. And I just wanted to make people understand that I don't look at these stethoscopes as something that's, that you need to muzzle. They're meant to be listened to, like listen to a stethoscope. It's not something that you basically just silence. They use them. We use them for what? To listen to your heart. And it's just like that. You have to listen to the heart of a nation. And Gaza's voice is listened to by doctors. They're the ones who are trying their best. Yeah. Those doctors in Gaza have taken an oath. Yeah. To protect life. That's what they're doing. They're protecting lives. That's not a crime. Do you understand me? They are not committing a crime by turning around and saying, we're going to look after the people of Gaza. That is what every single doctor that's taken the Hippocratic Oath is supposed to do. And the thing is with these doctors in Gaza, they're not just healers. They're the guardians of hope. And that is what people need to understand. They're being hunted down. Every single place you can think of that the doctors are, they, Israelis, know that these doctors are the ones that are making a difference. And in a war, the first thing they want to kill is not resistance. It's the hope of resistance. That's what they're trying to do right now. And what better way to destroy hope than to destroy those that bring you healing? When you're healed, you get up and carry on and go on again. And that's what they're trying to do. Destroy people who heal. And that is something that, we in Britain, we in America, we in all over the world have to understand. It's something that we need to support. And people need to understand that these doctors, they're not collateral damage here. Yeah. This is a strategic thing that they are doing. It's not about Hamas. It's not about dismantling, Gaza's ability to survive. What it is, it's about doctors being targeted. That's what they're trying to do. Ambulance drivers, paramedics, nurses, whoever they can do it to, they're trying their best to. Even down to the technicians that help keep the equipment going, the support staff. No one is spared in Gaza. And you need to understand what Israel has done. Yeah? They've killed 1,057 doctors and nurses. They've killed 418 paramedics and emergency workers. A total of 1,400 plus healthcare workers since October 2023 is what these Israelis have killed. It's not while fighting, but while carrying in wounded. While they're carrying out, they're hitting them while they're, what's it calling it? They're doing CPR on people. Hitting them while they're trying to get children from the rubble. hitting them while they are in ambulances. Their deaths are not accidents, people. You need to understand that. This is a method. This is the Israeli playbook. And each medic that survives is a life they fail to erase. And that's what makes me happy, because each stretcher is actually resistance. This is about making Gaza uninhabitable. That's what they're trying to do. And they can't make it uninhabitable. Forcing people to beg to leave. That's not what Gazans do. The people of Gaza haven't begged and they never will. Because they know. They know. If they leave now, they will never ever return back here. And you got to remember, most of them are here from 1948. Families who've been expelled from Haifa, from Jaffa, they've been through this before. They will not be displaced again. I think they'd rather die on their land than live in exile. That's what I understand about every day that I see these people in Gaza standing up and saying, we're not going anywhere. You do what you've got to do, because it's on your conscience, Israel. It's on the conscience of the people who allow you to get away with this. All of those people that have sat quietly and said nothing, it's on them. The Gazans are not going to leave. And you know what? This is the thing that scares the Israelis more than anything else. It's not the guns. It's the roots that these Palestinian people have. And it's not the resistance through violence with them, but resistance through remaining. They are here to endure the pain. They are not going to leave. And you know what? No one shows that more than a medic running into the rubble instead of running away from it. As the bombs come in, these people are in there. You know, Gaza's medical workers are now living symbols of the actual resistance here. They hold the life of Gaza in their hands. And that's why Israel is trying to break them. I'm going to give you a few details about some doctors who I have watched being murdered or abused or put in prison, disappeared. And I think it's important to remember these doctors. And there are many doctors, there are 1,000 who have died. But the ones that have stood out for me above and beyond are these 5. Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya, he's the director of Kamal Adwan Hospital. He stayed with his patients until the very end. And if you all remember, he walked towards 2 tanks that had their guns on him, unarmed in a white coat. What a symbol. What a symbol of power to say, I am not going to give up on my people. He was arrested. He got tortured. He got disappeared for I don't know how long. Then they dragged him out onto a TV screen. And he is a symbol of what they fear. This is the machine of Israel. They fear men like him, a man of mercy, in the face of this steel machine, who is still to this day, even when he came onto the TV, was unbowed. He was not willing to accept anything other than the truth which he said. And if you guys remember, Dr. Adnan al-Bursh, he was the orthopedic surgeon al-Shifa. He was arrested while working there. He was killed in Ofer prison under torture. His body still hasn't been returned. Why have they not returned his body to the family? You know why? Because they've tortured him so badly that they can't allow the world to see what they've done to his body. This is what Israel does, people. And this is why our government that sits there and does nothing whatsoever needs to be fucking held to account. Not just our government, but the governments in France, the governments in Germany, the governments in America, because you're allowing these people to get away with it. You are the ones who are allowing doctors like this to be destroyed. Dr. Muhammad Abu Samir, he was the director of our Shifa hospital. He was detained for 7 months while escorting a UN convoy. He was tortured daily. Daily. He was denied legal access. And when they released him, he wasn't broken. He came back and he's working in Gaza now. That is resilience. That is resistance. Dr. Issam Abu Ajwa, 63-year-old surgeon, pulled from an operating theatre mid-surgery, people. Mid-surgery. He was tortured, sleep deprived, frozen in the cold, no heating. And guess what? He survived. And he's returned to surgery in Gaza. That is resistance. That is standing up for your people. That is what Gaza is made up of. These kind of doctors. Dr. Mahmoud Abu Shahada. He was arrested during, I think it was a raid on Nasser Hospital. He was held without trial for nearly a year. He was beaten, isolated, scarred. They scarred his body. But you know what? When he was in that prison, he was still free in his soul. And in the end, he walked out of there. So this is the resistance in Gaza that is shown what these people are like. And they are the representation of the best of Gaza. The journalists are a close second to them, because they're the eyes and ears. But my talk today is about the doctors, the nurses, the medical staff, the ambulancemen who go into buildings, who go into rubble as they're being bombed to pull people out. They are the bravest people of Gaza, because literally there are drones trying to kill people all the time, and these guys go into that and get on with it, and if it's their time, it's their time. Anyway, I need to talk about some doctors, okay, who are in Britain right now. So as I said, there's Dr. Rahyana Ali. She's a friend of mine. She has opened her mouth up, okay, and she's not willing to be silenced. She has turned around and called it what it is. Dr. Nadeem Crow, Dr. Rahma, Dr. Asif Munaf, Dr. Ranjit. They've all been suspended, investigated, vilified. For what? For standing up for what they know is right or wrong. They're not suspended for malpractice, just for speaking out. You know what their crime is? Their crime is saying Palestinian lives matter. And they're saying that we, the doctors, must speak. You know, we're not going to stay silent here. We're not willing, because, you know, it's not possible for us to just stay silent when these things happen. And these doctors, they're not crossing a line here by saying these things. They're actually holding the line of humanity here. They know what's going to happen to them, and it's happened to them. You know, I don't know how to tell you this, guys. Yeah. But I don't think there's anything braver than someone who knows full well if they do what they do, yeah, which is stand up and put your name and your face to a situation where you could lose your job, and you know that this is what's going to happen because you've seen it happen to other people, and you go ahead and do that, then you are the bravest of the brave. And our doctors in Britain, I love all of you. Every single one of you is doing an amazing job of defending your Hippocratic oath. You understand? And I'm, you know, for me, I can't think of a better person than the ones who are standing up for the Palestinian people who are being murdered right now, okay? All you need to do is just speak the truth, and you should be allowed to, you know, have the ability to tell the truth as you see it. You know, for anyone to stay silent at the moment is the safe thing to do. Silence is neutrality, you know? but it's also complicity. Anyone who stays silent, I've said this on many different tweets, anyone who stays silent today, when this is happening in Gaza, you are complicit. So, for me, I think the white coat that these doctors wear, it gives you it has a meaning for us. It means trust. It means healing. It means honor. But it seems now with the whatever it's called, the BMI and the GMC, now it's a target. These doctors that stand for Gaza, their coats are no longer a white coat, but they've become flags. And these flags is what they're trying to burn. They're trying to burn the doctors that stand up for them. They're trying to basically take the symbol of being a doctor and you care, and they're trying to drag you through the mud of fear and politics. It's you're not allowed to talk. Here's what they want you to do. They want you to shut up. Unless it's the politics that they like. If you're criticizing Russia, you're an absolute fucking hero. Criticize Israel, though, guess what? There's an investigation coming your way. And the only thing that these guys are treating is a disease called dissent. They look at it as a disease, so they're trying to cure this disease. Yeah? By stopping them from working, by not allowing them to make their money, by taking away their livelihood. This is what the state is doing through its different organs, through this GMC, through this BMI, all this, what's it called? British Medical Institute. I don't even know what they're called. All I know is that the friends of mine who are doctors, yeah, are getting abused for standing up for the right things. And do you know what? They've actually got a moral duty. These doctors have got a moral duty. Not just to heal bodies. Because they're the ones that witness human suffering. And they understand it better than anybody else because they know the pain that people go through because they've studied it. And when you see humanity bleeding, speaking out is the duty. Not a choice that you can ignore. You need to understand that these guys are actually doing the only thing that you should be doing. Everyone who's got any decency should be doing. So I look at my doctors, my friends in London, my friends all over the country, doctors. I now look at them as symbols of resistance as well, of conscience and of courage and conviction. Because they're the ones in the line of fire over here right now, and they're the ones who are suffering the consequences of the inadequacies of our politicians to do the right thing by the people of Gaza. They are the front line of our conscience at the moment. And the people don't understand that these people need to make money. And they can't make money and have a living if they're banned from being able to work in the NHS. You know what they represent? They represent the system's fears. Moral authority that can't be bought. When empathy is being punished, that's not regulation. That's repression, people. They're repressing these people from doing their jobs. How can you sanction people? They're defending lives and they lose their licenses because of it. And yet you've got these fuckers who sell weapons. And they're getting knighthoods. Why? Because they're making money for these motherfuckers. They're making money for the government. This isn't about patience, safety. It isn't about obedience. It seems to me the penalty for compassion for humanity is suspension. That's where we are today. We are living in a country where you get suspended for having a compassion towards people who we've watched dying in 4K, people. In 4K. If these doctors can't stand for the voiceless, the system which is already sick, You can't regulate away morality, people. I don't need quieter doctors. I need louder truth. That's what I want. I want to see our people, our doctors listened to. Almost every single one of these people knows exactly where they're coming from and where they're going to. And they're taking us with them. They should be applauded. And I'm going to say this as the National Election Coordinator for the Workers' Party. Okay? I have stood for the Palestinian people for decades. And I mean, since God knows when, I have always been on the side of the Palestinian people. And I am sick and tired of seeing people targeted in Britain for doing the right things. We will not let stethoscopes be silenced in this country. We will not let their sacrifice be forgotten. And we should not be treating the hands that heal us as enemies to the state. And people need to understand, this isn't just about Gaza. This is not just about Gaza. This is about whether we have the capacity to care, to give a fuck about our country, our civil society. And if the answer is yes, then we need to stand with every doctor, every nurse, in this country and in every other. Every human being who chooses to save lives, when it's easier to look away and say nothing, should be applauded for that. They shouldn't be harangued. They should be supported. So I'm going to end this now because it's gone on for quite a long time. I beg all of you who've got the time to either show up in Manchester or show up in London at the Royal Courts of Justice, and let's support Dr. Rahiana. And if we find out and can share between us all of the dates that these people have got to go to wherever to get to suffer the axe and the sword of the British government through its agencies, the BMI, GMC, and whatever else, to punish our doctors, we need to be there as a nation to support them. Because you know what? When we went through COVID, every single one of you came out on a Thursday and clapped for them. Why are they different now? Why are these doctors being ostracized? Why are they not getting the support from the public? We need to support every single doctor here, and we need to work out a way to support every Gazan doctor, hospital, and every other thing that we can to stop this genocide taking place over there. I'm going to end it there. I'm going to get, my blood is boiling.